Sumit Mitra. Welcome to today's roundtable. We're talking about elevating the customer experience. But what does that mean to you and the role you're doing leading GBS for Tesco's?
At Tesco, we have a purpose, which is very clear, which is about serving our shoppers a little better every day. And what it does, it's the single thread which joins all the functions and the markets together. So as long as we continue to deliver in whatever we do, whether we are in finance or payroll or customer facing, as long as we continue to deliver that little incremental value back into the customer every day. And that's what our purpose is from a Tesco perspective.
Great. And how's that been changing over the last maybe decade? Because I think Tesco was one of the first big captive operations in Bangalore, I seem to recall, and it's evolved a lot since then. So as you look today, how you're delivering value versus maybe 10 years ago, what's markedly different from your experience?
Sure. I mean, Tesco was pioneer in kind of setting up in-house capability. It started off in 2003 where we purchased our own land and we built a 15-acre campus. But at that time, it was more about labor arbitrage. It's about putting a lot of those kind of what we used to call it non-core processes miles away and ensuring that it's done in a low cost. But now the world has changed. It's all about creating value for the organization. We no longer talk about labor arbitrage or offshoring, because the concept here now, it's TBS or Tesco Business Services is an organization rather than a location in Bangalore. We have centers in Budapest, which supports our European business. We have center in Bangalore, which is now supporting the UK and ROI. And also we have our customer experience center in Dundee, which supports all our UK customer experience. And what we are looking at is more about how do we bring in the best-in-class technology, we improve our processes from a continuous improvement culture perspective, and we deliver that incremental value, which I talked about earlier on, to help serve our shoppers a little better. Right.
Okay. And as we look at how things have evolved and thinking has evolved, we talk a lot about front to back. So how can we break down barriers, silos between the front office, where a lot of the CX is driven from, and the supporting back office, where the operation is managed, where a lot of the technology is managed. How have those come together, and do you see a further assimilation of front and back to what we call today as one office?
Sure. I mean, from a Tesco perspective, look, we don't really talk about back office, front office, or mid office. We talk about one office and a single office, single way to support our customers. In the end, whatever we are doing, wherever we are, is supporting our end customer. We are setting up what we call a Mission 23, which is our next 3-year strategy. And the strategy is around how do we bring in digital automation to ensure we augment our resourcing and ensure that we create that seamless customer journey from our shoppers coming into our stores right down to kind of the experience when they have purchased something and they want to give us a feedback. So how do we ensure that the whole end-to-end is managed? We call it the domino effect. So there are 3 types of colleagues that work within Tesco Business Services. One, who are directly facing off to the customer. Second, who are supporting the colleagues who are directly facing the customers. And thirdly, there are enabling services which supporting the all two. So we call it domino. If one of those dominoes fall off, that has an impact of all the other 2. So we ensure that the handoffs are clear, the drivers are clear, and there is one driver, which is we always talk about is serving the shoppers.
Right. And as you look at how your business has evolved, obviously with online delivery is massive in both UK, US, where I spend my time. How does that impact you and the operation you're running? Do you feel you have to constantly stay ahead of these changes, or how fast are things moving, and how much do you expect them to change?
Is the bricks and mortar going to go away? No, it's not. But is the formats changing? Yes, absolutely it is. And I think our customer demands are changing. And what's important for us to ensure we adopt and adapt to the disruption that's happening around us, whether it's human behavior, whether it's the new technology that's coming through, and ensuring that we kind of lead the line on that. In some cases, we will lead the line, in some cases, we won't. But the important thing is, I call it, before you build a bullet train, it's important to ensure that you build the tracks.
Right.
And the 2 tracks are one, that of the culture, Do you have the right customer experience culture within your organization? Is everybody geared up to ensure they want to drive the best thing for the customer? And the second thing is the process. If you get the process right, if you get the culture right, and then the technology sits on top, which is the bullet train. Because no point having the bullet train if you don't have the tracks.
That's interesting. So I've got one final question is brand. And I think I heard this morning on the radio, Tesco's commercial celebrating Christmas for 100 years. So clearly you're pushing your heritage and the fact that you've been around for a very long time as part of your brand and culture. Do you feel that that is still very important in today's world, or do you think the barriers are coming down for new entrants in this space?
Absolutely. I think the experience, think about 100 years of experience in the retail space. Who can match that? That's incredible. And we are quite humble about how we brand our products, how we brand ourselves as a business. And we, like I said, we always talk about that incremental value that we're going to create for our customers. And that experience helps us a lot to kind of choose the right technology, choose the right way of serving our customers. We try our best to understand our customers. We ensure that our colleagues are always supporting our customers in our stores with a smiley face. And also, from a business services perspective, we ensure that those colleagues are freed up to spend time with the customer. Right. That's key for us. And that customer obsession about customer and customer centricity comes from a heritage and a culture.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, good. Well, thank you very much, Sumit. It's been wonderful talking to you.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.